Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Dark Mystic Ocean and my name is Kermes. I am a tarot card reader and a Vedic astrologer, and this is my YouTube channel wherein I put content on tarot, on Vedic astrology, on various divination modes such as cartomancy, kipper cards, Lenormand. So if this interests you, this is something that attracts you, definitely like this video and hit the subscribe button as well, okay? So today's video, I'm going to talk about the horseshoe spread in the tarot. Now, if you are a tarot student, if you're just a beginner, or even if you are somebody who's been reading the cards for a number of years, you consider yourself an expert, then you definitely have come across the horseshoe spread. It's one of those classical spreads which is mentioned in almost every book which you would have read about the tarot, along with past, present, future, along with Celtic cross spread. The horseshoe spread definitely features in almost every book. Now, this is an important spread to learn. I would consider this as even more versatile and even more apt in today's day and age compared to the Celtic cross, because the Celtic cross has 10 cards. So there are a lot of layers there to uncover, to unpack. Whereas the horseshoe spread is just 7 cards. So you need to pay attention to 7 cards. It's fast and it's highly effective. And most importantly, it answers the million-dollar question, that is when. When is something going to happen? You can do all kind of time-bound questions with the horseshoe spread really well. So I'm going to show you an example and hopefully you will learn through that. Once again, follow this page, subscribe to this channel if you are interested in such topics. Let's go to the drawing board. Okay, so welcome to the drawing board where I will show you how a horseshoe spread is done. All right, so pay attention. Get your notebook and pen out and take notes, or obviously you can watch this video an n number of times, which would really help me, so please do that. Okay, all right, so let's start. So let's assume the question asked by the querent or your client is, let's say somebody's asking you, will I marry this year? So let's assume this is January 2025. Somebody's come to you and asking you, is marriage on the cards this year? Will marriage happen? So remember one thing, this can either be a yes or a no. I do not like giving answers which leave the client confused, or give an answer like, the chances are good, but there is a possibility that it might happen later bit, but the chances are good. No, I don't want answers like this. It's either yes, it'll happen this year, or no, it will not happen this year. Okay, so that's what we are aiming for. When you learn with me, that's what we always aim for, right? To predict with confidence. And remember, in the beginning, it's absolutely fine to stumble and fail, because that's how we learn. All right. Okay, so question asked is, will I marry this year? Okay, so let's assume this is the spread. Now, this is how you lay out a horseshoe spread. You can do it the other way around as well. As you know, horseshoe is like a U or an inverted U. Either way is fine. What you need to know is you need to remember the position. So that's card number 1 up there. That's card number 2. That's card number 3. Card number 4. Card number 5, 6, and 7. Okay, let me just move my teacup. All right. Card number 7. There you go. So these are the 7 cards which make up the horseshoe spread. Now, this is how I lay it out. You can, like I said, lay it out the other way around, but remember the positions will not change. All right. Now, card number 1, this card over here, talks about the past. Card number 2 talks about the present, all right, what is happening in the present. Card number 3, which is this card over here, card number 3, is the near future, all right. Remember, I'm saying near future, not final outcome, not final future. This is the near future. So you have to time this card as the near future, okay? So I'll come to that a bit later. This card is current circumstances. This card is factors working around, all right? Or you can call it the environment. This card is hopes or fears, okay? What is the client hopeful, or is the client fearful? And this card, the final card, is the distant future or the final outcome, right? Now, if you've noticed, there are two cards over here in principle which specifically talk about the time. So what you need to do as a tarot reader is that if a person has asked a question like this, which spans out a year, all right, which is 365 days, you need to break the time accordingly. And these two cards give you that benefit. You can make this card as the immediate 6 months. So from January to June or end of June. And this card would be all the way from July to the end of December 2025. Now, if this card shows promise of marriage, I will say marriage will happen in the first 6 months of 2025. If this card shows me the promise, I'll say marriage will happen within the last 6 months of the year. It could be either, all right? If you don't want to break it up into 6 month and 6 month, that's also fine. You have the option, you have your choice to put the time as you think fit, as you deem fit, all right? So you can say that this is the coming 3 months as well. So this could be January, February, March, and then all the way from April to the end of December could be this card. Third choice, or another option you also have, is you can see all the 12 months if you have a good amount of experience. Then you can see all the 12 months from this one card as well. And then this card, the last card, will show you the actual final outcome. Are they happy with the outcome? Are they sad? What is happening in the final moment, all right? So depending on your experience, depending on what you find comfortable, this is how you will time the event, okay? So these two are very important cards. Next point I want to say here is this card, card number 2, remember I called it the present, which means what is happening right now, what the client is going through right now, situations around the client is seen with this card, okay? It will reflect over here. Now, this card over here, which is card number 4, is also current circumstances. So what is different? Nothing is different. They pretty much speak the same thing. They both talk about the present current situations, but you need to form a link between the two. You kind of need to join the two to get a story of completely what is happening in the now. Okay, so always remember you need to read card number 2 and 4 like as if they are partners, kind of like a combination. All right. So these are two very important points which I have to tell you about before I open the cards, and then we start kind of seeing and unraveling the reading, all right? And the last card, which is important to speak about, is card number 5. Card number 5, which talks about the environment or things happening around, factors happening around, talks about how destiny is kind of playing out, how events are shaping around the client. Is the environment favorable? Is the environment not favorable? Should they be on the lookout for something terrible? Should they be on the lookout for some unexpected events? That will be shown from here, okay? If this is a court card, if this position lands up with a court card, in most cases, this shows another party or a third party or somebody else who also has an influence on this reading. Okay, so please note all these points. This can also be, if this is a court card, this can also mean the client themselves have a large opinion or the client themselves have a large say in the event. But more often than not, this is always somebody else if it's a court card, all right? It could be a mother, a sister, a brother, a friend who has an advice or who has some kind of opinion or a direct relation with the question at hand, okay? I hope this makes sense. If this doesn't, feel free to email me. I am always open to solving questions of students, okay? Let's begin. So, will I get married this year is the question. Let's see what the cards say. So in the past, we have 7 of Pentacles, fairly easy to understand. And I have not laid out the, you would have seen, I've shuffled it in front of you. So this is a complete dummy reading. 7 of Pentacles in the past, which means they have been waiting. It's been quite some time. And the very fact that it's come out in the past, that means they were waiting as well, which means it's been more than a year at least I would say at least a year, year and a half, 2 years since they have been searching for somebody and not yet found somebody. Okay, so clearly indicates that. Then you have in the present, you have the Chariot. Okay, a good indication. Chariot talks about progress, talks about new beginnings, it talks about balance, harmony, travel, okay, success, especially in matters related to career. It shows reaching new heights. It can even show movement or immigration, moving to foreign lands, many things like that. In the near future, which remember I have timed as 6 months in my head, is the Nine of Swords. Now, this is very simple. The card itself has made it very simple. The Nine of Swords is a card of stress, anxiety, sleepless nights, bad news, things not falling your way, plans being cancelled, delays, so many things, all right, which the Nine of Swords can mean. So obviously, I would say, hey, look, it's not going to happen in the first 6 months of the year. So I don't see marriage anywhere between January 2025 to June 2025 for sure. Okay. Now, I will not say this immediately. I always wait for all the cards to be seen, and then I study all of them together, I analyze them, and then give the reading. This is just for, me explaining the cards to you as the beginner. In the current circumstances, very interestingly, I have the Ace of Cups. In the factors working around, I have the Eight of Swords. Okay, looks like a story is being formed. Then I have the Eight of Cups in fears, hopes or fears. And I have, I have the Six of Pentacles. Okay, this looks like a movie, a story which has panned out somehow. My students, I think, would already be aware of what the cards are saying. Okay, so this is how I would interpret it. This is my take. Remember, your cards speak to you and answer according to what your brain has captured all over the years. So this is my take on this spread, all right? Remember, I said no marriage happening in the coming 6 months for sure. Now, Ace of Cups is a good card, is a good omen to see in matters related to love, relationships, and marriage. All right. It talks about new beginnings. It talks about falling in love, being in love, romance, the early days of romance, flutterings, a fluttering of the heart, etc. Now, because this has come in current circumstances, I also need to see it in tandem with the present card, which is the Chariot. So imagine reading it like this. You have Chariot and you have Ace of Cups taking place in the present day scenario. Now, what can this mean? This also talks about success. This also shows love. So it looks like this person is currently falling in love. All right. It looks like this is some kind of romance which is actually happening right now. So I will ask the client, hey, are you in love with somebody? Are you attracted to somebody? Has a new relationship begun? All right. The Chariot also talks about sexual intimacy. So I will definitely be asking the client this question that, hey, are you in a relationship? All right. So this combination would show me that. Now, because the near future shows me sadness, shows me gloomy days, I would say that whatever this is, if the client says yes, which 99% they will, that's just how confident I am. This would show me a breakup, all right? This would show me that for some reason whatsoever, this relationship is not working out, at least not in these 6 months, and it's most likely the end. And that is kind of validated and ascertained again with the Eight of Swords in factors working around. Now, Eight of Swords is a card of being trapped. Eight of Swords is a card which talks about not being able to move, not being able to take your own decisions, take your own calls. So I think you get the gist of the story. This person seems to be in love with someone. There seems to be a relationship which has begun, but because of maybe society or family, this person cannot proceed with the relationship and it's looking like it's ending in the next 6 months itself. And that's why they're crying, they're sad, they're unhappy. All right. Further ascertained by hopes and fears, you can see they're not very hopeful about the future. It looks like Eight of Cups is a card of disappointment. It is a card of walking away from something that you have built, walking away from a relationship, walking away from a project, walking away from a job, something that you held dear to you because it's a cup card, something that you were emotionally invested in, something that you were emotionally connected to. You're walking away from that. Now, this is come in the hopes of fears, so I cannot use it in actual prediction, but it is validating these cards which talk about, separation or breakup. So they are fearful that they will have to walk away from the situation. Always remember, never give a prediction from this card here. This position, hopes or fears, is the psychological baggage. This is what is happening in your client's mind, all right? So it may or may not pan out, all right? For actual events which have to manifest into reality, you have to pay attention to the future cards always, or factors working around, because that is what is actually happening. And then you see in the last 6 months, you get a card like Six of Pentacles, which general meanings are employment, fair play, all right, equal give and take. And those of you who have learned tarot from me also know this card shows marriage, especially arranged marriages, all right? So this is like a literal Bollywood film playing out. I would say whatever you're in, the relationship you're in, it's going to end, and you're going to be sad and upset about that. And the last 6 months of 2025, most definitely it seems that your relationship is getting fixed somewhere. This could actually even be like a engagement, or I believe it's called roka, wherein you confirm that, okay, this person is going to be your bride or your bridegroom. So it looks like that is getting fixed by the end of the year. So most definitely I see marriage end of 2025, in the last 6 months, okay? An engagement or marriage, anything you want to say, you can further clarify it, but definitely not in the coming 6 months. And you see how beautifully the cards have given you the ability to kind of see more into the situation. Imagine if I am right, which trust me, 99% of the times I am. This is a stunning reading to give a client. Without the client telling you about the current relationship, without the client telling you what is happening in the life, you have already seen it and are giving a prediction. All right. So after this, of course, you can pull out further cards asking for guidance. But this in itself is a nice way to do the reading. So this is how I always perform my horseshoe spread. All right, this is how I do the horseshoe spread. You can change certain positions if you don't find them working for you. For example, I see many people they find that the past card or the past position is not very useful. All right, so you can change this as what the client feels or what the client thinks, or what is the client's personality like. You can change it to whatever you deem fit, whatever enriches your reading, you can do that. Now, the last bit I want to talk about is, once I do a reading, any reading, most of the times, 99% of the times, I always will turn my deck around. I will not reshuffle it. I will keep it to what it was. I will turn my deck around and I always check the last card, which gives me extra information. It gives me extra details into the reading. So because I have the Devil card, once again, it is telling me about some kind of a relationship the person is in, which is going to give them grief, because at the end of the day, it is the Devil card. All right. So this is what I would tell the person, and this is how I would give the reading. All right. Now, obviously, it is up to the client to ask me that, should I proceed with this arranged marriage? Is this match better? Or should I decline this match and fight for my relationship, which I currently have? I will do a separate reading for that and give them the answer. But this is how I would do my horseshoe spread. So this was my take, a short lesson, I think, or actually this is the full lesson on horseshoe spread. This is how I do it. These are my positions which I use. I have not changed these positions since years now, because I find them to be the most conducive to give compact, proper readings. You can always change the positions. You can make this the outcome card. You don't have to get it into the near future. And you can make this as an advice card as well. So outcome, advice, all right? But this will not work if your time span is large. So if you have, like what I did just now, a reading for up to 1 year, then this might not make sense, all right? Whereas if you have readings for, let's say, just a couple of weeks out, let's say somebody's asking you, will I get a job in 2 weeks from now? I'm searching, I'm giving interviews, etc., etc. Then you can even make this a few days, and this like the next coming 2 weeks. You can even divide it accordingly, or you can see the entire 2 weeks in this, because 2 weeks is not a very large time frame. And then you can see this as either will they be happy or will they not be happy with the job they get. But whatever you do, remember, while you are shuffling the cards, please decide the positions. Do not decide the position or change the position after the cards have been pulled or laid out on the table. I hope this helps you. I hope you use this spread. Do use it in your readings. Tell me what you feel. Give me the feedback. Like this video. Share this video with people who are tarot card readers or students who are just beginning. If you wish to learn tarot card reading correctly in a proper manner, wherein you can start giving proper professional readings, then join my course, which will happen in the future, either live, or you can always buy my recorded classes, which are ready, and learn from the comfort of your own home. The recordings stay with you lifelong. Just drop me a message, email me, or follow me on Instagram and DM me there, and you can begin your journey in the tarot. Hope this helps you. Definitely try it this way, the horseshoe spread. I hope I've made it simple for those of you who were confused. It's a fantastic spread, and the beauty about this spread is you have the backing of at least 500 years of people who've used the horseshoe spread vigorously. So it may not be in your lineage or it may not be in your ancestry, but so many people have done the horseshoe spread who have kept on using it. So there is a certain power which is now fixed in this spread. And trust me when I say it seldom falters, all right? So you really need to be having a bad day to get a reading wrong with the horseshoe, or even in fact with the Celtic cross spread. So this was my video on the horseshoe spread. Please like and subscribe to my channel. And you guys have a lovely evening, and I'll see you again soon with more videos. Let me know what I should make a video on next. Thank you very much. Bye.